Cool.
For the record, I'm done trying to make y'all comfortable. For the record, you ain't trying to grow, then it's done for you. For the record, lab on me going all the way. For the record, ain't trying to link, no time to waste. For the record, for the record, for the record, for the record.
Yo, welcome to the Homeland Daily, always pushing the culture forward, episode 54. My name is Dane Ramoon, man. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for being a part of the show. We're almost at 60. We're always celebrating a milestone here. It just feels that way. And we want to just make you a part of that. This is not us. This is about you. We did this show for you. We did this show to have a voice and for you to also know that you can have a voice by being on this platform. That's why we have interactive ways that you can connect with us via the chat group. And we place you out there. We put you out there. We teach you how you can have your own voice. We just ask that you do it responsibly, just like us. Let me introduce the rest of the panel, man, and my hosts and just my soldiers and my wisdom friends, my wise friends, everything to me. Give it up first to ladies first. Of course, she's based in New York right now in her office. Give it up for Liz Charles. She's a filmmaker, also entrepreneur. And I've always said this. I won't steer away from this, but just you can tell how beautiful she is, first of all, but she's wise and she's a great friend to have. But give it up to Liz, man. What's up, Liz?
Hey guys, I'm as you can tell, I'm running a little behind schedule today, but I'm happy to be on the Homeland. Wouldn't miss it for anything. So glad to be here.
I feel like Homeland is anywhere. Rico said that before. Like anywhere we are, you can be like, we can be in Brazil right now. We can be in Miami, South Beach, just finish a happy hour, pull out the computer. And that's the Homeland. That's what's really cool about this show. With that being said, let's give it up for singer-songwriter and producer and entrepreneur Rico Rolando. What's up, man?
What's up, guys? I'm actually still in the East End district.
Yo,
Pretty good time, to be honest. Have you ever had the Italian kitchen?
yes.
Oh yes.
I have.
Yo, so good. The first time I tried it, like super fresh food. So big shout out to the Italian kitchen in East End. But overall, it's just like super relaxed, and I feel like I'm in the Bronx. So yeah.
Yeah, man. East End is dope. I recommend anybody that's tuning in right now. If you can find a hotel in this area, do it. You still got 4 people hanging out in the hotel? Like separated from you, like it's just 4 people just there.
Oh yeah. I think there's only like 4 people still in the hotel, but they're supposed to be having a lot this weekend. So that's good for the economy, and I'm so glad that Caymanians are pushing, the whole boundaries in terms of tourism right now. Because I think it was Yantel. She posted up something that was super dope. I don't know if you guys. Yeah, but it was basically like make sure you guys keep that same energy.
Yeah.
Waitresses, unfortunately, Raw Palms is gone, but bye. You guys had bad energy to begin with.
Obviously, they can go to the left.
I think, to be honest, is just like make sure that you guys remember during this time before all the tourists come back that we were the ones who were helping you day in and day out just to keep the economy going. So major shout out to everyone who's just supporting.
I'm hearing that that apparently Margaritaville. I don't want to put out any misinformation, so I will say that this is literally not Sandy Hill Marl Road, but this is Marl Road, Cayman. Is it gone, Margaritaville?
Bro, I don't know. Allegedly, is what they're saying.
Yeah.
To me, it's just like I went across there the other night and it looked like a ghost town. Like all the lights were off. It's to do with the pension stuff, so we'll see what happens. They're going to be doing a lot of rebranding as well. They're going to have to rebrand from the Margaritaville that they just opened up. So,
wow.
I feel like that space, like how many times have they, with TI, like the restaurants that are always there, always like shut down after 2 years or so. It's always rotating. Something about that space.
Yeah.
It is. I would pray over that space if you're going to purchase it.
Anoint it.
Yeah, man. My day has been, let's just say, intriguing a little bit. I learned a lot about my kids, that they watch everything that you do, and you got to be careful when you have kids and have minimal conversations they're not supposed to hear. because my 5-year-old son still surprises me to this day, because I just saw him in the corner punching something, and I'm like, "Yo, son, what's good? You all right?" And I'm like, he's like, "No, I'm angry." I'm like, "What's up? Like, talk to me." And he's still punching something, and he said, "Dad, I'm punching a man that doesn't like black people." And I'm like, first of all, what you know about like the man that doesn't like black people? Like, please do intrigue me, talk to me. And I was surprised that he actually went as far as asking his 11-year-old brother to print the picture out of the person, and he placed it on something, and it was literally, because he likes wrestling in the fights like a young 5-year-old average boy, right? And when I saw the picture, man, it was a picture of Donald Trump. Like, I was shocked. This 5-year-old has literally put in his mind, because of all the news and because of things that he hears in the household, that like this guy doesn't like black people. So I say this to not as a joke, because a lot of people are used to me making jokes, but I'm just saying, yo, parents, regardless of how you feel, be careful that you're not bleeding over your kids, because that's just important message for me to just put out there, because it's really just your opinion, and you may say things and you don't know where it's like Kanye standing up during the whole Hurricane Katrina situation and says that this person doesn't like black people. You just gotta be careful, like, because your kids are gonna grow.
Children hear everything.
I didn't even know.
Often how you find out about some racist parents, because
exactly
your kids say.
Exactly. So just don't do that. No matter how you feel, let's make our kids, of course, teach them to love everybody. That's the most important message. But I wouldn't, make yourself, like, because you're bleeding, I wouldn't make that spill on them, because then they're going to grow up to look at the next person that looks like Donald Trump, and they're going to be like, I don't like you.
I think it takes time, right? Like, you have to decide at what age you have a larger conversation with that child, and what age they're going to start to be affected, and then you start introducing the conversations. As the non-parent, I'm saying this, I'm using the maternal instincts that I haven't exercised.
Nah, but it's good. It's good. It's good. It's really good, man. Thank you for even entertaining that. But we're gonna jump into ER report right now, entertainment report with our homie Rico Rolando.
Yes, for sure, guys. So we're gonna jump actually right into it, and we're gonna start with Naya Rivera. So if you guys know her, she's the Glee star, former Glee star on NBC. She played honestly, I don't remember her name right now, unfortunately, but she was a part of Glee, and now she is missing. She was on a boat in Southern California lake, and she was with her son at the time, and then the authorities pull up to the boat where it was only her son that was on the boat at the time. So police are actually suspending the case right now until the next 7 to 9 days, just to see what may happen, and just to see if her body will, be alive or unfortunately passed. So it's a crazy thing to know that, some things like this actually happen, where a celebrity that's, healthy, and not only a celebrity, but a human, and then all of a sudden they're just leaving their family. What do you guys think about this?
It first of all, it's sad, man. It's like, it's a very sad situation. When I heard about it this afternoon, the police actually said it's now a recovery situation. So they're actually trying to recover the body. Because at this point, being this late in the game, but I think what made me, I'm a grown man, I'm gonna tell the truth, I'm comfortable with myself, but a little bit of tears were shed, because I think it was the message of the 4-year-old boy when he said, "My mommy went for a swim." And that just hurt when I heard that, because that quote will always stand out for me, because I'm glad that he didn't get it, but he's probably wondering when his mommy's coming back from that swim,
What do you guys think happened, though? It's just like,
well, what the kid said was that they were both swimming, and then he went up into the boat, and then his mom kept swimming, is what he said.
Yeah.
And so then the child, when they found the boat, the kid was asleep in the boat. So he literally just went to sleep thinking that his mom was swimming.
Yeah. It is sad, man. It's just a hard one to talk. I'm glad that you put this one first, because it would kind of be hard to talk about this last before we go into the interview. But yeah, it is sad. It is sad. And then for those that don't know Naya too, like, not only famous for Glee, but she's also been in the media before because a lot of people were always making statements that she was trying to be a Kim Kardashian lookalike. And they would pour out messages and saying that she was a little bit crazy and stuff like that. But from what I saw on her social media, I'm not saying social media is 100% true, but she couldn't hide how much she really cared about her child and just how much of an awesome human being she was. So I don't care what the media dictated about her in the past. She was an awesome mom from what I saw. And it proved it. Like her last breath was, no pun intended, was taken with her son.
Yeah.
So
most definitely. Well, speaking of Kim Kardashian, it's actually her sister, Khloe Kardashian, who's under fire right now. So I don't know if you guys saw, but recently on Instagram, Khloe actually posted up a picture where they're now saying that she looks filtered to the gods. So they're saying that she looks to maybe 15 years younger than her actual self. So she's been posting, pictures before that's very, very filtered. Obviously, we know the real Kardashian behind all of the IG photos, but how far is too far for you guys? Do you think that this is just a little too much just on what she's doing just to, I think she's catfishing to me, but it's like we all know how she looks, but then she keeps posting pictures like this. I mean, what do you guys think? Liz, let's start with Liz, because Liz is the woman of the group. She's, the voice of the women. Like, let's see what Liz has to say.
Whoa! I do not represent the voice of all women. Let that be clear. Listen, I personally feel like you can have fun with your social media, and my only issue is that
Liz.
Let me finish. My only issue is that, what you're doing over social media often, though, is influencing younger kids. So if those are your fans, then, and they don't realize that it's like all filtered to the gods, then they might think that they're supposed to look like that naturally. But at the same time, kids these days, they're smart. They know about all the filters, so they may know that this isn't real life. Like, I don't know. I can say.
Don't you think that she just looks kind of just like foolish sometimes? Like when she's posting up all these like catfish 18-year-old pictures, and we're like, whoa.
But this is their brand. So this is their brand. It's on brand. How am I critical? They've been doing this for the last decade.
Nah, I'll be mad if I went to go buy a Tesla based off of what I saw in the commercial and it just didn't look the same on TV. That's why you see me like get really mad at Chili's, because Chili's, like, they put out these like adorable burger pictures, and then you go order the same burger and they bring you like what is this? Like what?
No, there's an art to photography and food filming for sure.
No, when Carnival starts back, I think you'll understand what me and Rico are saying. A lot of these women in Cayman be putting up a lot of these pictures, and then the filter doesn't exist at Carnival. You have no filter at Carnival.
But they do in their Carnival photos, so they still look snatched. And you know what? Let's not front like men don't do this, okay? Because
No, we don't.
Dane,
celebrities,
I will come for all of their fake follicle edges, okay? Men be putting in the makeup and they're filling in their hairline. Men will color in the abs, have their makeup artists make their like abs look more defined. I will come for men. The beards.
Yo, I dare you say a name. Say a name. Call a name.
What's his name on the reel?
Who's that?
What's his name on he's like the male who they go to for all like the guy's secrets. Or you know what, just the other day you brought up Diddy and his whole gray face, not to mention LeBron's hairline that's magically come back.
All right, but I said to name some real men though. That's what I said. I know LeBron is one.
All right, guys.
You wouldn't say that to LeBron's face.
I'll say to run.
Dane wants all the smoke, guys. But speaking of smoke, the case continues for the murder of Pop Smoke. We all know that he recently released his new album, and that's actually topping all the Billboard charts. I think he's like number one in over 43 countries right now. His album recently dropped this week, last week time, and people are saying that hopefully the murderers are actually brought to justice this time because unfortunately it's been a few months now and we haven't heard anything. But they're saying now they have 5 new suspects for this case. So, what do you guys think? What's your thoughts?
First of all, am I the only one that's noticing that anybody that gets murdered gets a number one album? Is that like a? Is like think about that for a second. Everybody that gets murdered gets a number one album. Like
Scarcity.
that is so scary to me because I remember Nipsey Hussle had a conversation with Gary V, and Gary said, "Your time is coming." And that was a shocking comment because Gary Vee was telling them like literally months before he passed away, he said, "You're gonna blow up, you're gonna be big, you're gonna have number one on the Billboard charts. It's your time is coming." And a lot of people were talking about that because they were like, "Wow, look, it took Nipsey Hussle to." I didn't know how long Nipsey Hussle was around. Maybe he was your favorite rapper for some people, but for me, I just learned a lot about Nipsey Hussle when he died. So I'm not saying it's a bad thing, guys. I'm just saying like it just still shocks me to this day that it takes a rapper or a singer or someone passing away for them to get the props that they deserve because they're actually really talented. When you actually take time to listen to their music, they're super talented.
Well, it just goes to show how much, I don't want to say the word smoke, but how much noise there is in the market. And so in order to be able to like cut through the noise, it's something drastic. And I hate that it's something as drastic in a negative way. And so I'd like to see how we can start to do more things in a positive way for people who are talented to get noticed. But there's a lot of noise. It's a tough market. It's competitive.
Yeah,
Sure.
so true.
And that's all that we have for entertainment news today. So I'm actually gonna hand it back over to Dane. Thank you guys so much.
That's your ER report, man. Don't forget you can recap it again on Spotify, YouTube, and Facebook. Today is Entrepreneur Thursdays, and every single Thursday we invite someone either locally or overseas to tell us how they got their start in being in one of the most powerful industries in the world right now. It's kind of like one of those you step out, you just jump off the cliff type industries, the Entrepreneur Thursdays, and we're going to invite our guests tonight, Leanna. What is going on, girl? You good?
Hey.
See, Leanna doesn't need a filter. Like she's popping regardless. Popping regardless.
I will blow Leanna's whole modeling background up in this spot.
Oh,
Leanna, thank you so much for joining us. We so appreciate you being on the show with us. Also love the new hair. You just like doing this. Is this like your COVID thing where you're like, I need a new look, I need a new color? COVID is driving me crazy.
Actually, this is like my after COVID look, and I was totally like, you know what? Survived COVID, did that, been there, done that. It's time for a change. I'm trying to just like get COVID out of my system, really and truly.
That's
Love
reasonable.
Love
I buy it. Great. So tell us a little bit about, what businesses you have right now, because people might not know. I mean, you're a woman, you're a young woman. I'm also not going to throw your age out there because I don't tell them my age. So, but you're a young woman who's an entrepreneur. So tell us what businesses you have. Let's start there.
Okay. Well, I have a company called Underground KY, which I've been doing for about 4 years. And so that's like a promotional company where it's promotional, but it's also like people hire my team to do like bartending, door hosting, anything like serving food. Like we work with personal chefs, we work at private events, we work at big events. It just depends. So that's called Underground KY. And then my special baby would be my beauty salon, which I own along with my mom. Well, literally my mom woke up one day and was just like, "Do you want to own a beauty salon?" And I was like, "Yeah, weird question." And she was just like, "Okay, because we like hair and you like nails and you spend so much money doing your nails and whatever." And I was just like, "Yeah." And then she was like, "Okay," hangs up the phone. And then I don't know, like a couple days later, she was just like, "Here are the keys to your beauty salon. You own a beauty salon, and we're gonna do this together." Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I kind of went from there, and now I'm kind of doing that full time. Like since COVID, like since the reopening, like that's what I'm doing full time right now. I'm managing my salon. I'm making changes, and it just feels really good to be able to be in the salon because now that I've been sitting there, like I can see things that I want to change, and I get to manage like how I work with my clients, customer service. I am big on customer service, so for me being able to be in the shop and like deliver that kind of customer service, yeah, it's a lot, but I love it. Like I'm loving it so far. It's been 2 years so far. It's not an easy road, but it's going.
That's dope. That's
and, and,
dope.
and I know that definitely your go-to is customer service with your clientele and with your company. I know with Underground KY we had to work a little bit in the past, and you guys just had amazing customer service. But my question to you is, we actually had Lynn Bawden on a couple of weeks back, and she said she was so happy for when her business began to open up, and then all of a sudden COVID happened and basically changed her whole life. How was that affected you?
Definitely, in the industry that I'm in, with Underground KY, that just stopped completely, right away. And then with the salon, when March 27th came, it really was just like, okay, it's gonna be okay, it's just gonna be for a short time. Like, couldn't imagine that it was gonna be a whole like 3 months basically of no business. But you know what? Um, Running a business, once you put things together financially
Mhm.
and you focus on the business, and when the business makes money, you put that into an account, a business account, and you keep check of that. I can say that I wasn't prepared for like it to be like, I felt like COVID-19 was kind of like an emergency that you couldn't prepare for. But because of how we were doing with like managing things, I was able to, I have 5 staff members, and I was able to 6 staff members, sorry, and I was able to pay my staff their salaries throughout the entire COVID-19. Yeah,
Wow.
I was
That's
able
dope.
to pay my staff the entire COVID-19. We bought them groceries sometimes, we always checked in on them. And I feel like when you do something like that, the blessings are going to come back. And every dime and dollar that we spent on them during that COVID, we made that back in the first week of reopening.
Hey, that's
Wow.
amazing.
Amazing, amazing. We
Yeah.
all want to ask, like you've been given the opportunity to be a leader, and I remember you from radio stations. Like when I first started radio, you used to always be at the radio station, and you can always see that you were a born leader. For those that don't know you, how would you define yourself as a leader? Because you're leading people that are older than you. You're leading people that are probably your age group, and that's sometimes difficult to lead people that believe that you shouldn't be leading because of
Yeah.
your age. So how do you lead?
Yes, for sure. It is. I think it's one of the biggest challenges to lead amongst your peers, because they don't believe that, like you should be in charge. It just depends on like what it is. And running a business, sometimes, you can build bonds with people, and then it gets crossed in with like friendship and business, which should never really mix. So for me, it's been all like a learning experience. It's really been I've been reading up on how to be a business leader. I've done courses on entrepreneurship, what to do, what not to do. My mom is really good at kind of guiding, and without her, like all of this is possible. She definitely is the stepping stone for me to be able to say, okay, I'm gonna do this. This is how I'm gonna do it. Have to handle things a certain way, especially amongst like peers. You have to be able to handle things a certain way, because then people start to like, oh well, I don't want to listen to you, or I shouldn't be listening to you, or you younger than me, like I don't want to take directions from you. And people get threatened by that sometimes. But you know what? I've learned a lot of what I never had before, which is patience.
Mm.
Patience has been a big help on being an entrepreneur and like managing a business and just learning. You have to keep teaching yourself how to keep going, how to manage others. So I've done courses on managing offices or managing employees, and just how you speak to people and how you treat them. That's what you're going to get back in return.
Mm.
So if
Yeah,
you
man.
treat people good, they're gonna give you back good service for being a part of your business. So I think that's what or how I've been doing it.
You know
Go ahead, Dan.
what I really like, and this is not really a question. This is just really something that I've noticed, and I just want to put that out there so people are not getting the wrong opinion. Is that you said that your mom woke you up one morning and just gave you the keys to a business that belonged to you? A lot of people might say to themselves, like, "Oh, well, she just earned like a business was given to her." But what I noticed, and I know your mom really well. Your mom actually watched your attitude the whole entire time when you were growing up, down from the
Yeah.
days that you come to the radio station and said, "No, this child went out there and did her own thing and
Oh
proved
yeah.
that she knows and has the mentality and the capacity, and she became your partner." Your mom could have chose anyone else, but her child became her partner.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. So I just wanted to compliment that. It's not
Thank
really a
you.
question. So yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, my mom is my biggest inspiration. My mom has been, my mom came from like a certain upbringing, and she didn't want, the same thing for me. She wanted better. And so she has done everything in her power to ensure that it's better. So
Mhm.
so when I say like, handing over the keys, I still gotta pay, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? But
Yeah.
she secured it for me, you know what I mean? Like she went about and did all the paperwork, and then she was just like, it's yours, take it, do what you gotta do, and pay the bills
Yeah.
when it's time.
I mean, I think you're so fortunate to have a parent like that. When we take stock of those moments in which our parents have helped us towards our career, because sometimes they can do so in a way that's like they might do something so terribly that you are inspired to do it differently, or sometimes
Yes.
they do something where they literally position you the way that you were positioned. So I think that that's beautiful. Outside of managing people, which is like number one, like business thing number one when you're in management. What do you think, I guess, from more of the quantitative side, was the hardest thing for you to learn, or the most challenging thing for you to learn about like the technicalities of running a business?
Oh goodness. And in the industries that I've chosen, there's so many technicalities. So, you know, time management and ensuring that, you know, persons show up on time for their bookings from both events and the beauty salon, ensuring that clients get customer service, because both companies, it's all about customer service. Everything falls back on me, because if people know like Leanna owns that, they're gonna come and tell me what's wrong, or they're gonna come at me for whatever. So everything that's attached to me, I ensure that we're all on the straight and narrow. So managing people is not easiest, especially with like more than 5 people at a time. Like that's a lot.
Mhm.
But the way you speak to people is important, and I think that I really try to, or I've learned over the years, like how to switch it up to really speak to people, to make them feel comfortable enough to like want to speak to me, and so we can get the job done together. Teamwork is something that I've always been I've always known to be like the most important, but then I've had to kind of go about doing teamwork differently and learning things differently. So everybody's different. Everybody got different personalities. I have a different personality than other people, and everybody has those days. But I definitely I've definitely had to learn a lot with like time managing and managing people and managing myself as well, because I can't be unavailable for any of these two businesses. Like at any time there, somebody might need me for something, and I kind of have to be available to help get the job done and fill in for myself too, because I work a lot of events. I'm always at the gate.
Yeah, yeah, I see that. I
Most
see that.
definitely. And for those who may be watching right now who says, "Oh, well, Leanna, she just has to go inside a beauty salon, say hi and bye, and then at the end of the week she'll collect the check." But I will tell you guys right now, that is a big no. Like, if you guys have ever watched Scary Movie and you seen where like one of the people are like the janitor, the cleaner, the waiter, the
Yeah,
all of these different people
yeah,
in one, like that's Liana. Like you'll
yeah.
see her everywhere and be like, oh yeah, like this is what I do too. Like
Yeah, like
yeah,
like even now, like at this time, being in the salon full time, like people come in, they're like, "Oh, you guys got a secretary?" Like if they don't know me, like, "Oh, you guys got a receptionist," and I just go with it because they just assume that I'm the receptionist. I just go with it, or
yeah,
I'm sweeping, so they think I'm like a helper, like in the salon. That's okay. It's mine. I'm cleaning it, but they don't know who I am, so they just kind of go with that. But
yeah.
I enjoy being in the salon. So I don't just want to be there and sit at my desk. I want to learn how the braids are done. I want to learn how to do different coloring techniques. We have like practice dolls. I want to learn all the different things, because when people come in there or see me somewhere and they ask me a question, I want to be able to answer it. How is this style done? I want to be able to tell you how that style done, how long it's going to take, the benefits of having this style, or if or not, like your hair texture can take the style. I want to know those things. So that's what I'm also doing, like while I'm in the salon. And with Underground KY, well, I just love the industry anyway. I'm always working. I'm collecting the cash. I packing, like it doesn't matter. I'm there from start to finish.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it is, man. I think one of the things I love having conversations in small groups at church with young women, because you get a chance to motivate women that have actually had their crowns taken away from them for any given reasons. And one of the things they've always told me is that, man, I struggle with finding my identity in a workplace, or feeling that I am good enough to be there or strong enough to be amongst men. And entrepreneur is one of the biggest things too for them. They just don't think that they can start their own business, because they feel like indeed it is a man's world. We're
Yeah.
finding out more and more every day that women indeed stand like probably in some ways taller than men. How would you motivate a young woman that's listening right now to this message, a young Leanna that's listening and she wants to hear, how do I get to start? Where do I start?
Um, Definitely, I would say you have to start with ensuring that your focus is there. You have to focus. You can't, I feel like you can't do too many things at once.
Mm,
If there's something you really want to do, you have to focus on that thing, get that off the ground before you jump into something else. Ensure that you put that thing on a platform and focus on it. See how you want to go about it, what kind of marketing you want to do about it, what you can afford to do about it.
mm,
If you can do it on your own, I would say go for that. If you feel like you need some kind of a financial assistance, I feel like it has to come from somewhere or someone that you really, really can like depend on and trust, because going into business is a serious, serious thing. It's not just about making money and spending that money. You have to make the money, you have to invest that money back into that business, and then you know you don't have to pay yourself every week. You don't have to do that. Save some of that money, put some of the money aside. If you want to really get started with entrepreneurship, the people that you keep around you as well, you kind of have to flush out any negativity, because somebody mightn't want you to
Preach.
go forward. Somebody mightn't want you to do that, because guess what, they wanted to do it and they didn't have the balls to go ahead and do it. So they're going to be like, oh no, I don't think you should do that. No, 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 you can do it. You can do anything you put your mind to. You just have to focus. You just have to ensure that the people around you are the right energy. Energy is a big, big deal. Don't
Yeah.
take it lightly. You have to have the right energy in order to focus and move forward with what you want to do. And honestly, don't let anybody tell you like you can't do it. You can, and you have to pray, because without God, yeah,
There we
He will
go.
lead your
There
way.
we go.
Yeah.
He will lead
That's
your
that
way.
gem. That's that gem. I love that.
Yeah.
That is beautiful. You know what? Can you tell me? Because I love the fact that like a lot of people I think might be like, oh, like Rico said, like, oh, it's a hair salon, whatever. It's not like a law firm or this kind of thing or that. Like people are stupid because they don't understand that like all businesses, like management is management is management is management is a function, and it's difficult. You're managing people, you're managing the functions of the actual work that need to get done. Like it's a lot of work. And as I'm listening to you speak, I can hear all of the education that you've done, like all of the self-education that you've done when you say you've taken these courses and stuff. Like it's so clear. And so what I am wondering is there any particular course or book or resource that you found to be very valuable to you that someone else who's starting a business might say, I didn't think ahead. I didn't think that maybe I would need this to start this type of company. Or they might just say, I don't feel like I have any resources at all at my disposal for me to be able to learn in order for me to start this business. Name like the top two things that you either read or did that helped you to like get knowledge?
Okay. So basically, I was encouraged to try out the it's called Allison, like Allison courses. So they offer different courses in like entrepreneurship, and you can do certificates in different courses on Allison, and it's like you can get a course for like $39.99, and it's a credit, like it's not
Accredited,
a
so like
scam.
you're getting stuff. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
free.
like it's not a scam page,
Yeah,
because some of
it's
them
not from university.
yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. And then there is a product called Barbicide, especially for like the salon. There's a product called Barbicide, and they do a lot of trainings as well. So like if you go to Barbicide, like if you're interested in that kind of in that industry, like they offer a lot of courses. So I've done courses through them. And then I've done a lot of like reading. Like I just do research. Like I'll just Google like how to run a beauty salon, and literally like I'll pull up articles and watch videos and things like that. And then there's this one lady that I know that used to own a salon but works for a salon now. Like she used to own one back home and she works for one. And I kind of, she used to be my nail tech before I owned the salon and everything. So like I kind of talked to her about stuff and kind of like guiding. She even helps like with me, like with picking the right products for like my nail technician. So like she kind of like guided me through that. So just because somebody like owned a salon or something doesn't mean like you can't talk to them unless they don't want you to be successful as well. It's pretty easy to like find somebody in a field that you're interested in something,
Yes.
and kind of like go from there and learn. Because with the promotional company, that's what I did. I started somewhere, and then my friend started a company here in Cayman locally, and then I learned off of him because I work closely with him and I learn a lot of different things. And he's taught me so much about that industry and what to do and what not to do and what to take on and what not to take on in terms of like people's and opinions and different things like that. So honestly, you can Google.
I think what you're showing people with your answer is that there's no excuse.
Yep.
There's none.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
no excuse, like absolutely none.
She got a mentor. She got all the courses. Nobody needed to tell her to do this. It was her own initiative. That's how you become a boss.
And
Yeah.
my mama.
Yeah, mentor is important, man. I love it.
Yep. And you know, we're actually coming down close to the time where we start to wrap up. But this is actually going to be my last question, and then I'm going to hand it over to Dane. But you know, a big thing right now is pension. A lot of people are taking out their pension to, you know, maybe invest in different businesses, or you know, just having the luxury of having it in your account. What advice would you give to any young person who's thinking, all right, well, you know, I just got, let's say, $5,000 for my pension. I would love to just start to invest in it, but don't really know the means on where to go, what to do. What advice would you give them?
I would say definitely if you took out your pension money, that you should try to save some of that and definitely try to invest in that. And if you want to open a business and you feel like you got some enough like pension money to say get it off the ground running, like maybe you can get some marketing done to get the company, you know, started, a website, you know, invest in some Facebook, Instagram ads, things like that. Like start small. You don't have to jump like big into it. But it is important. Branding is important. So if you could spend some or invest some of that money into branding, that I think is like your first step. And then you can take on a lot of things. You can learn things. Like you don't always have to pay somebody to make a flyer for you. There's free websites out there that you can use to like teach yourself. If you take the time, you can learn it. Like Canva is amazing.
Yeah.
I actually know graphic designers that use Canva. So if they can do it and I have to pay them to do it, then I think that I can go on there, make the time and learn it. So honestly, I feel like if you want to use your pension money to invest in a business, just focus on the branding of the product. What is the product? Do you think there's a high demand for the product? So what if someone else is doing what you want to do? How can you do it differently? Those are the things that you have to think of, because a lot of people are scared to like do something because they're like, oh, but somebody else doing it. That's okay. There's like thousands of hair salons in Cayman. That's okay. What can you do to bring value to your hair salon where your hair salon is located? My hair salon is located in West Bay. I love West Bay. I live in Town, but I love West Bay. So what can I bring to the district of West Bay is always what's ringing through my head. So think about what kind of business, where is it going to be physical? Is it going to be online? If it's going to be physical, then you have to think about, you know, putting together money for rental spaces. And those can be pretty pricey depending on where the location is for that. But just think about, do you have enough revenue to take you on for like the next 6 months? Always think 6 months ahead, not 1, not 2 or 3, but 6. To be in a safe position, you want to think 6 months ahead. And then when you get to the 6 months, how are you going to continue to like pay that rent? Of course, by then you want your business to start bringing in, but you don't know, like you just don't know what's going to happen. Don't give up. Don't let anybody deter you because you've invested this money into it. You just have to keep going. So I would just say that focus on branding first and product. How you gonna do it better?
Yeah.
And then you good to go.
Absolutely. Love it, man. Leanna, we want to thank you for giving us the most important asset, and that's your time. And just being here. It's really important to us, really educational. And just a fun person is really, I'm really happy to see the humble and extraordinary person you're growing up to be. And I'm glad I get to stand as a witness to it. I just want to ask you for the next 30 seconds. This is our wrap up, final thoughts for the next 30 seconds. Just give some advice one more time to anybody that's listening, just in case they're ready to sign out. They're ready to stay on a little bit longer, but they just want to hear that 30-second advice that you have. What's your final thoughts?
Okay. Focus. Positive energies around you. Pray. Clarify. Cleanse your surroundings. Invest your money wisely. Okay. Don't do anything in a rush. You can take your time. You don't have, this isn't a race. You're not in a competition with anyone. Just focus on what it is you want to do. Focus on how you can have a product or a service that is top notch and how you're going to go about it. You got this. You can do it. I believe in you.
There it is. Thank you, Leanna. Liz, your final thoughts. What does it look like and what does it sound like for the public out there?
My final thoughts are that Leanna just gave y'all a full sermon and my 3 years of business school in the last 20 minutes. So if you want to be an entrepreneur, I'm like dead serious. Like rewind on this video, rewatch it, because she literally just gave y'all all the principles that it took 3 years of business school. 20 minutes. Cool?
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm proud of you, girl. Rico. Is Rico stuck?
He is frozen. It seems as though
Rico
he's
is
frozen.
All right. He looks like he's coming back from the reef. He's coming back from the reef internet now.
Big up East End for sure. But you know what? Thank you so much, Leanna, for stepping into the Homeland Daily Show. Obviously, you just gave us a masterclass. So we'll definitely send us the invoice after this, and we'll know what to do. But to anyone who's listening out there, Leanna's a young woman. She's Caymanian, and she's been able to start 3 brand new businesses. And that's just off of her knowledge, her patience, and the good grace of God and her mom. So everything is possible no matter what you put your mind to. There's going to be a lot of people who are going to doubt you. There's going to be a lot of people who tell you no, but you just have to keep pushing and keep going. And just think about it. 5 years from now, you can be laughing and be like, hey, at the bank. I'm at the bank again.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I love that. Yeah, I mean, like Liz said, you pretty much summarized business school in a very summarized version. But I definitely want to leave people with some things that Leanna did say. And it's been actually written in great books that I've read. It was Wells Fargo that went to a coffee store locally in New York City. And he met this guy that handed him an envelope and said, hey, I'll give you $20,000, or you should give me $20,000 for the advice I'm going to give you, because you're going to be rich and you're going to be a business owner. And of course, he took it. He said, just come back and meet me in 2 weeks. And I promise you, you're going to give me this $20,000. Wells Fargo walked back into the restaurant and handed the guy, met him on the spot, and gave him $20,000. In that envelope was only 2 advice. Write it down and complete it every single day. So write it down and complete it. So everything you have to do, like what Leanna did, she's consistent. You want to be an entrepreneur? Hey, there's nobody that's born that's gifted to be an entrepreneur. It's just you waking up in the morning and just being consistent, writing it down and follow the tracks and get it done. Leanna, we're so proud of you. I want to thank you for joining us for Entrepreneur Thursdays and being a part of our team and our family here. And yeah, man, we're just going to keep praying over your life and just hope the blessing just keeps pouring in. All right.
Thank you. Pray.
Have a good one, Leanna. We'll see you again very soon.
Bye.
I know she's going to be starting a business again, so we're going to have to bring her back on.
Yeah. Yeah.
So at some point, we're going to have to be bringing her on. Want to shout out Damian Cameron. Want to shout out Derek Bolingbroke. Man, I used to work with Derek at DMS years ago. We're long overdue for coffee, Derek, so we're going to catch up soon. Oscar, thank you for joining our show, man. I think you were a first-time guest. If not, hey, thank you for being a loyal fan of the Homeland Daily. And for everybody else that's listening behind and hasn't said anything in the chat, hey, Do it next time. Say something, shout people out, give them praises. But we want to thank you for hitting that button and coming in to this beautiful, beautiful live chat that we have here, our stream that we have here.
Lee, where are you? What's going on? Where
Who's
are the
that?
Where's
Carla
Guys,
come on, guys. We know you're in there.
they're all hiding behind those screens, man. But guys, thank you so much. We really respect your time. We know that you could have chosen to do Netflix, Hulu, maybe even sleep, but you chose to click on this, and we really appreciate you. Like we said, it's the fans, it's the people that love this show that keeps this alive. So we will see you again for episode 55, 5 away from 60. We'll see you very soon, but tomorrow we're going to be celebrating Turn Up Fridays. That's right, happy hour. Bring your drinks. We're going to be bringing one of your favorite DJs so you can have some fun. Who knows, you might even bring an artist to sing. We don't know what's going to happen on Turn Up Thursdays. That's the whole plan. So we'll see you. God loves you and we love you. Keep safe, y'all.
Trying to make y'all comfortable. For the record, you ain't trying to grow, then it's done for you. For the record, lab on me going all the way. For the record, ain't trying to link, no time to waste.